it's Mari, and I'm here today with my second layout for Scrap the Challenge with Kelly Barron. And our challenge this week is to use a silhouette cut file for our background or as part of our layout somehow. So I used a cut file here, this heart cut file that is free as a Hip Kit Club member. And anytime I can get a free silhouette download, I'm all good for that. So this happened to be a freebie for me, so this is the one that I used for my layout. So I just wanted to introduce that challenge and let you know what we were looking at for this particular layout and what our goal was. Another goal that I had besides using that cut file was to use as much stuff up from my kits and my stash as I possibly could, because pretty soon the stuff in my scrapbook room is going to be so much that I'm not going to have room to scrap. You should see my table right now. It's an absolute disaster. So I just wanted to say this is quite a busy layout, but part of that is because I'm trying to use up as many of my products as I possibly can in my scrap room. So yeah, that's why I got a lot going on here, but I did really enjoy using all of the Shimmers products and the things that I use for mixed media. It's one of my favorite things to do in my scrap room. So I'm just gonna shut my video off right now and we'll transition into the process for this layout so that you can see how I came up with this 12 by 12 layout today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoy my video. Hey, sorry I got cut off there. Thanks, Movie Maker. Anyways, I'm just going to show you the process that I used very, very briefly here with this cut file, just to show you how I took some of the Maggie Holmes Shine Collection pattern paper and I just stuck them to the back side of that heart, that cut file, just to create that those different pattern pieces peeking through. And this is a pretty popular trend right now. I don't know for sure, but I think maybe Paige Evans is the one that made this famous. Anyway, whoever did, it's a super cool technique to create an interesting piece for your layout for sure. So I've just used a variety of those Maggie Holmes pattern papers from my 6x6 pad. And you'll be able to see when I put that cut file back up there that I just did a little bit of sewing around the edge of the heart with some black thread or some navy thread, I guess. So now I'm just going to take some different products from Shimmers. Most of them are inklings, and I'm just going to use a variety of different colors, and I'm just going to create some really shimmery background color on the layout as the background. So this is one of my favorite techniques to do, is to take a piece of white cardstock and create my own background. And so I just took some gesso and I primed the white cardstock first, just so that it doesn't warp too badly. I mean, it's still gonna warp, and I definitely use my heat tool to dry this just for the ease of speeding things up here. And I'm just gonna use a variety of different colors that complement the colors in the pattern paper and in the picture that I'm gonna be scrapping here. And I'm not exactly sure what colors I'm using here of these inklings. I think Blue My Mind maybe is that kind of greeny blue one. I'm not sure about the pink one. It's just one of the pink inklings. And if you are interested in purchasing any Shimmers products, I'm in Canada and I don't know of a Canadian supplier that I can get the Shimmers products through. If anybody knows who that might be, what store that might be, if you can leave in the comment section. I did just get mine from Shimmers, and the difficulty with that is that we're paying the American exchange right now, which, I mean, obviously it's going to be a little more expensive here in Canada anyways because our dollar sucks right now. But anyway, and then of course it's a little bit more to get for the shipping. But anyhow, I just love the product, so I'm taking one for the team on that, and I'm paying the cash for the Shimmers products right now because I love them so much. So I have gotten a few of the products in some of the hip kits. I think maybe our December kit had some in the color kit, and I think we're getting some in the January kit too, maybe, if I recall, or maybe it's February, I don't remember exactly. So you can see there's that finished heart, and I'm just going to be popping that on and off the layout here as I plan where I'm going to be putting the color down on the layout as I'm working away here. And you know, obviously some of this is going to get covered up by the different parts of the layout, but that doesn't matter. The most important thing is that it's there as a base to work on top of, and the mixed media just pokes out around the edges of the different elements of the layout. So that's the look I was going for, and that is what I accomplished when I finished. So here I am again. I'm just, you know, activating those inklings with some water, and I'm just working around the layout with them. One of these is a creamies. I don't remember which one, but you know, if you go onto the shimmer store there, another really a thing that I really liked about the last products that I bought for them is you can buy them in groupings. And that's kind of a cool way to start out. If you want a variety of different colors and products, you can buy a kind of a little kit that has a little bit of everything in it, and I like that. I think that's a great way for them to package their products there for sure. So it's important just to make sure that you get enough water into those little pots and just get those products activated. So now I've got a lot of the different colors and some gold on there, and I'm just about ready, I think, to start putting the rest of the products on there that I'm going to use for mixed media. So I'm going to use some of the Vibes just splattered on there in one of the blue colors, and I'm going to do quite a bit of splattering on here. Another thing that I use on the background that I think I do off camera is I put some of the Heidi Swap rub-on sequins on here as well that were in our, I believe, the December kit. And I rubbed some of those on in navy and teal and pink, because those are some of the colors that are in this layout. Now I think that's maybe some Heidi Swap navy color shine that I'm adding in there as well, just for some darker splatters. And just going to sop those up a little bit just so that they dry a little bit more quickly. And if I wasn't worried, if I wasn't in a little bit of a hurry to get this done, it's nicer to let them dry naturally, just because they are a little bit more shimmery and rich in that way. So I'm just taking this Heidi Swap stencil with the hearts, definitely going with a heart theme here. And I'm just going to put some of the other Shimmers products on here as well. These are Dazzlers, and I'm going to use 3 different colors of Dazzlers. I'm going to use a light pink and a mint green and a really vibrant blue. So there's going to be 3 different colors of Dazzlers on here using that Heidi Swap heart stencil. Love that stencil. It's cute. I actually could have just, if I'd been thinking before, I could have just laid it down there just flat over top and put a variety of different colors on there on that angle. But anyways, this is how I did it, so it's all good, right? So you'll just see me fuzzing around there, and these Dazzlers do take a little bit of time to dry, so I stick them down and then I walk away for a little bit and let them dry. I do a little bit of drying with my heat gun, but I also let a little bit of it dry just naturally too. I think it's better that way. I think that it I don't know, it seems to dry less sticky or something if you just let it dry naturally. These Dazzlers they're very tacky. So like tacky isn't sticky. So you have to make sure that you give them the appropriate amount of drying time, because otherwise you're going to put your other products on top and it's not going to be cool, right? So still just working away, trying to decide where else I want to put those hearts down here. So, and I think I'm almost finished with that. And here's a little transition. You can see that I've added some in that. I think it's Gummy Berry Blue is that darker blue color. It's gorgeous. I love it. And I like just how it complements the darker blue Maggie Holmes paper there for the Shine collection. So just kind of trying to figure out where I'm going to put the picture. And I'm going to mount the picture on a variety of these, that same collection again from the Shine collection. And I'm just going to cut these and tear just to create a little bit more texture on the bottom of the photo mount. And I think I do that with 2 of the 3 layers of mats that I'm going to use here. So this little photograph of Jordan and Bailey is a picture that this layout is documenting a little class project that Jordan's class did, and it was a mouse house that they made. And I don't know what the objectives were, if it was an art project or what, I can't remember. He and I'll have to have a conversation about that, and we'll see if he remembers. But I remember him having so much fun with that project, and so that's what this layout is documenting. So at one point I thought I might put some pattern paper in the corners of the layout, but I end up not using those. I just thought that it was too much, and I just like the flow of the sprinkles and where I'm going to put the journaling and everything going from one diagonal corner to the next. So I try to leave the other 2 corners free, so that it allows the eye just to move up from that diagonal corner, from the bottom left corner to the top right corner. So I thought at one point that I might use some yellow in that photo mat, but I decided not to. I end up using pink instead of the yellow. And the reason why, I guess, is because there's not really that much yellow in the layout, and I didn't necessarily want to add more yellow in, is because it wasn't really a focus color. So I ended up using pink there instead, because there is a fair bit of pink. So it's predominantly the pink and the blue and the aqua or mint. Now, another thing that I wanted to use up, as I alluded to in my little introduction to the layout, is these mistables that we got in our kit. There was so much stuff in the kits that I ordered this last month in December, and I have a lot left to use, so I'm trying to get some of it used up, and this mistable tag was one of the things that I wanted to use. I'm using some of the Shimmers Vibes on here, and I end up using some Heidi Swap Pink Color Shine also. And actually, you know what? You can't even really see this tag all that much when I'm finished, but I really felt good that I used it. It just made me feel so good that I was using something from my stash. Wow, the mind games we scrapbookers play, right? But anyways, I am really trying to consciously make an effort to get some of the products used, and that's okay, that's good. I enjoyed spraying that on there, it was fun. And you can see that layer poking out from underneath the photo layer. It does add some dimension for sure to the photo layer. It's just not a dominant element, that's for sure. So I ended up cutting the top of it off. I could have actually looped some thread through there and added a little more texture in that way, but because I wanted the focus in that top corner to be the journaling, I didn't want there to be any thread up there getting in the way, and the tag was actually a little bit too long and covering up too much of the mixed media in the background anyways. So I just trimmed it off a little bit, and then just added a little more pattern paper to the sides of that photo mat with some pink, of some of the pink paper from the Shine collection. So I'm just going to, what am I going to do next? I'm trying to remember if I'm going to start working on that title yet. No, I'm going to take my Tim Holtz tool, and I'm going to add a little bit of navy around some of the photo mat in a minute here. So I'm just going to take that black and white stripe. I love that paper, and I'm going to gut it because I don't want to waste the majority of that paper. I want to use for another mat or some photo layers or something, some more layering along the way. So I'm just going to use the outer edges of that as a frame for the layout, just to bring the dark to the outer edge and complement any of the dark elements, like the title Remember, for example. In the layout. Now these, I try to add these, see what I'm doing here? I'm trying to use up as much of that chipboard sheet as I can, but I didn't like that. I end up taking those off after. I'm like, no, I don't like those. But I do add some of these little plus signs, and I put them on an angle so that they look more like X's than they do like plus signs. And so I'm just going to add those on the diagonal again, like I said, just to create that continuation of that line. That acetate piece that's in the top left-hand corner, I don't leave there. I had it sitting there just because I wasn't sure if I was going to leave that area vacant. And I end up leaving that white space. And like I said, that's white space, as is the bottom right-hand corner left a little bit blank there as well. So I'm just taking these are some thickers that also are part of the Shine collection, and I'm going to use those as part of my title. So the title, that acetate sheet came in the ephemera pack. I'm going to use that, remember, and then the thickers for mouse. And then I'm going to use another set of alphas from October Afternoon for a couple of other words in the title. So you can see now I'm just going to take that Tim Holtz tool. I just want to add a little bit of depth to the outside edges of those couple of those layers, and just to accent the edges of that paper, and so that you can notice those layers a little bit more easily in that photo layer. And this is that mistable tag that I said, well, you're not going to be able to see very much of it. You actually can just see the edges of it, but I'm okay with that. That's fine. And now you can see that I've added a few more little embellies and the journaling. And you know what? That's it. I'm all done. Thanks so much for joining me today. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye-bye.